Alright, while the trans is off getting rebuilt, let's do a couple of things that need to be addressed, like that broken distributor rotor and a couple of carburetor tuning things. We'll get to that in just a minute. Alright, before we get too much further, let's talk about something real quick. New sponsor, Mechanic Alliance. They just came on board with me a week or so ago. They are all for helping mechanics better their careers, make more money. If you're looking at getting into shop ownership, you want to better your career, better certifications, they're the guys to talk to. Anyways, Mechanics Alliance, or Mechanic Alliance, no S. Anyways, so in some of you may remember at Firebird, we broke the distributor rotor in that distributor there, and it got replaced with a HEI rotor out of a small block motorhome. Don't care, as long as it worked, that's all that mattered. It got me through the race right up until the trans let go. So while the trans is off, we're going to do a couple of things. We're also going to do some tuning on the air bleed, oftentimes called the kill bleed. Let me do some research on that. I'll get back to you on that, but heard it called the kill bleed, and we're going to basically make that orifice a little smaller, make the booster a little bit more responsive, and you know, just a whole bunch of little things that we can do while the trans is off, getting its you know, getting worked over. It's going to come back better than ever. So let's have some fun. Let's change a few parts. Let's get some stuff done. Okay, before we get too crazy just throwing parts everywhere, this is the cap and rotor I'm going to be using. This is the MSD part number 8416 for the GM HEI style distributors, like that guy hiding back there. We're also going to make a change. We're going to basically move one terminal on the distributor cap because I'm pretty well out of timing adjustment with the vacuum advance pot hitting the intake manifold. So after that, I got a timing light here. We're going to put the timing back to where it needs to be. So let's change some parts. Okay, distributor, cap, rotor, all that good stuff is changed over. I like my MSD plug wires that have the numbers on them. From what I understand, you can get those for any size wire that you may have. Let's see, what are these? These are 8.5 millimeter. Anyway, so yeah, got the firing order correct, 184-36572 on the Chevy. And the coil wires hooked up. I did make a couple of marks down low on the distributor body that you really can't see. Did that with a Sharpie just to make sure that, you know, I'm in the ballpark when I rotate that around, and I've moved that basically one set of terminals. So the timing should be close. It should be really close enough to start. We're gonna set the timing back to where I had it. Keep in mind when you do this, make sure you didn't knock any wires free. Make sure you, you know, the notorious little GM power wire that you may be using to run your 6AL, the keyed source. Make sure you get stuff like that. Don't ask me how I know. Well then, moving on, we're gonna go to the back of the car, hit the power. We're gonna get this thing timed into place. Alright, timing is set back to where I had it, about 35 degrees. Astute viewers will notice two things. Yes, I did shock myself on the top of that thing. Yes, I'm awake, but I'm okay. Nothing, you know, fingers not too tingly, I'm all right. And that I was technically using 2 timing lights. I got one here that I borrowed from my dad, and my other that my dad's is a rollback, but for some reason the strobe isn't strobing so nicely. So it's kind of a nice tack to have to sit there and you know, verify stuff as you go along. It is a rollback. I did check it. From what I'm seeing on the damper versus what I'm seeing on the dial back, rollback timing light, they're a couple of degrees difference. I'm just going to default back to what I see on the damper. I've got a solid pointer, and my damper is marked, I want to say out to 90 degrees, but certainly it's at least to 40, because I can see 40 from where I was sitting. So I got the timing set back to the 35 degrees that I want to see it at, and yeah, that's the ignition. We're back in business. No more broken rotor. Oh, let me find this little guy. For any of you guys that race at Firebird and know Two Feathers, gotta thank him on this one. That was out of his motorhome. It worked. It got me by till the trans let go. So yeah, that one may get us hung aside, or this one may be cursed. We're not sure. You know, put it in, breaks transmissions. I think I better not find out. It may just get tossed. Let's not risk it. Let's just go with new parts, and you know, let's just be good there. So I think we're going to end it here. I'll do another one soon, doing some carburetor tuning, but short term, ignition system is back to where it needs to be. No more secondhand distributor rotor, used parts, that kind of thing. We're going to be solid, and catch you next time. Thanks for watching. You thought that video was over. Guess not. Anyways, I can hear, I got a friend of mine out there that's going to say, hey, you didn't phase the rotor. Yep, I know. I'm aware of that. Now, I did look at MSD's website, and there's a lot of things you can do to phase the rotor. I'm running with locked timing. It is what it is. It's 35 degrees, you know, idle, 4,000, 10 grand, spin it to the moon. It's going to be 35 degrees. Now, they do have some pretty trick parts for certain distributors. That HEI isn't one of them. They do sell phaseable rotors to ensure that you get the distributor rotor clocked nice, so that way if you're running things like a start retard or something like that, you can ensure nitrous guys. Rotor phasing is big for you guys too. That basically ensures that the pointer on the rotor is pointing to the contact in the distributor cap, so that way you're not, you know, making a gigantic arc when the rotor is pointing too far away for whatever reason. That's one way to do it. And I have heard of distributor rotor phasing being done to ensure that the mag pickup and the rotor are also pointed in the right direction. From what I understand, you might be able to put a voltmeter on this guy and across the mag pickup and see a difference as you rotate the rotor around. The HEIs are kind of difficult to do that with because it's just the way it's shaped. So the rotor is unphased. We're hoping it's unphased through all the runs. But anyways, just going to run it as it is for now, unless I come across some better information about how to phase these rotors better. So just wanted to address that, because I know I got at least one person out there that's going to say, hey, you didn't phase the distributor rotor. There's a slight rationale behind it. Anyways, we will end it here and continue on with other things.